are the Chosokabe. Until recently, our home province of Tosa was controlled by the Ichijo clan. We are their vassals. The waning popularity of the Ichijo throughout the province, and our own growing influence gave us the means to seize control for ourselves. Now, all that remains is to crush what remains of Ichijo resistance. Once this is done, nothing will prevent the conquest of Shikoku. Our rivals, the Kono, have their eyes on the same prize. They will also vie for control of the island, so the capture of their province, Iyo, must also be a priority. Whilst holding no particular strategic value, control of Iyo will allow us to extend our domain and bring us closer to the mainland of Honshu and its riches. We have as yet no quarrel with the Sogo or Miyoshi clans, but their subjugation or destruction will give us total control of Shikoku and access to resources vital for expansion beyond the shores of Shikoku. The fine horses of Awa will enable us to field superior cavalry, whilst the stone found in Sanuki will make our castles impregnable. Both are excellent trade resources should we choose to negotiate with other clans. However, with power and influence will surely come the ire of Kyoto. And should the Shogun feel threatened, he will rally his subjects against us. In that event, we must be prepared to fend off all who would attack us, no matter from where that threat emerges. If the Shogun wishes to halt our expansion, let him come here and reckon with us himself.
We are the Shimazu. This is an auspicious time for our clan. Not only have we established ourselves as masters of Satsuma province, but fate has brought us into contact with a trade ship from the far west. Shipwrecked upon the shores of Tanegashima, the Namban brought with them the promise of lucrative trade. More importantly, they brought teppo, firearms, simple to operate, yet deadly in their effect. Establishing trade relations with the Namban should be a priority, for their weapons could be the key to our military superiority in Kyushu. It is also vital that we begin to extend our power beyond the bounds of Satsuma. Osumi should be our first target. We are already at war with the ruling Ito clan, and its castle is dangerously close to our borders. It must be captured before the Ito have a chance to muster an army there. We may then proceed with their total subjugation, or alternatively, expansion into Higo. We are not currently at odds with the Sagara, the masters there. A seizure of their province will mean a source of superior war horses and a taste of total and lasting victory. With southern Kyushu firmly under our control, none of the other clans will be able to resist. Kyushu will be ours. But we must beware of drawing the ire of Kyoto. Should the shogunate perceive our growing influence as a threat, it will be necessary to defend ourselves against the shogun and his allies. In that event, we must be prepared to fend off all who would attack us, no matter from where that threat emerges. If the shogun wishes to halt our expansion, let him come here and reckon with us himself.
are the Hojo. For many years, we have vied for control of Kanto, bringing us into conflict with a number of rival clans. Having captured territory from the Imagawa, we have brokered an uneasy truce in order to service our more pressing concerns. The Ogigayatsu and the Yamanouchi clans have united for fear of our mighty ambition. Musashi is therefore a priority. Capture of this province will rid us of the Ogigayatsu and gain us a foothold at the heart of Kanto. While we may have eased the tensions with the Imagawa, it will only be a matter of time before their lethal ambition threatens our plans once again. Capture of Suruga will weaken their potential greatly, but we must be wary of the Takeda. Bound by blood and honor, the Takeda will not look kindly on any act of aggression against their allies, and they are a formidable force. Seizure of Kai, their home province, could provide an answer, but facing the combined might of two great clans may best be left until our own has grown in stature. However, with power and influence will surely come the ire of Kyoto, and should the Shogun feel threatened, he will rally his subjects against us. In that event, we must be prepared to fend off all who would attack us, no matter from where that threat emerges. If the Shogun wishes to halt our expansion, let him come here and reckon with us himself. We are the Mori. Our conflict with the Amako clan has taken a turn for the worse. The recent death of their daimyo and the failure to invade our home province of Aki provided us with an opportunity to invade whilst they were weak and indecisive. Supported by our Ouchi allies, many auspicious victories were won along the road to Izumo. However, the Amako defeated us at the capital, and we were compelled to return to Aki to consolidate and rebuild our forces. Our defeat will not stand. It must not. The Amako must be dealt with. And soon. We must first capture Iwami province, securing a source of precious metals in the process. Izumo and the fall of the Amako will then be but a short march away. There will then be little reason to spare the Ouchi. The capture of Suo province will grant us superior warhorses with which to conquer the other clans, they who will surely cower at mention of the Mori. We have no quarrel with the Kikkawa, but the strong seafaring tradition in their home province of Bingo would complement our growing naval expertise perfectly. However, with power and influence will surely come the ire of Kyoto, and should the Shogun feel threatened, he will rally his subjects against us. In that event, we must be prepared to fend off all who would attack us, no matter from where that threat emerges. If the Shogun wishes to halt our expansion, let him come here and reckon with us himself.
We are the Oda. These are trying times for our clan. Not only are we at war on two fronts, but we are caught in the grips of civil strife. The infighting threatening to tear our clan apart from within. Our first priority, therefore, is to quell the unrest in our midst and unify under a single banner once more. When order has been restored, we can set about building up our strength and extending our influence into the neighboring provinces. Long have we coveted Mikawa province to the east, and the recent vassalage of the local Tokugawa lord to the Imagawa has made this no less appealing. Mikawa is fertile and boasts fine war horses, vital to the production of superior cavalry. Mino is of lesser strategic importance, but the Saito should prove less bothersome to overcome, as whilst the daimyo is manipulative to say the least, his forces are far less capable than the combined might of the Imagawa and Tokugawa. While making war on the third front is ill-advised, neutral Ise province to the west is known for its strong religious tradition and provision of fine monks for service both on and off the battlefield. However, with power and influence will surely come the ire of Kyoto. And should the Shogun feel threatened, he will rally his subjects against us. In that event, we must be prepared to fend off all who would attack us, no matter from where that threat emerges. If the Shogun wishes to halt our expansion, let him come here and reckon with us himself.
We are the Date, once masters of the northern reaches of Honshu. Our authority is now in jeopardy. Tanemune, intent on wedding his youngest son to an Uesugi princess, has created a rift within our clan. Outraged by his father's plans for his younger brother, Tanemune's heir has rallied our most influential retainers to his banner. They now fight to unite the Date under his rule. Tanemune must answer for the strife he has brought upon our people. Once defeated, our attention must be turned to the reconstruction of all that was lost during our internal struggle, including the reassertion of our authority in the north. Having capitalized upon our infighting to expand their power, the Mogami clan posed the biggest threat. Capturing Ugo to the west will diminish their influence. We have a history of conflict with the Hatakeyama to the south, so we should not hesitate to take Miyagi province from them. Rich in quality iron, this province will enhance our military capability whilst giving us a much-coveted resource in which to trade. As we gain influence, we will surely draw the ire of Kyoto. We have no need to submit to the whims of the Shogun, so should he be foolhardy enough to march against us, he will find the Date ready to fight for our power and independence.
We are the Takeda. Masters of Kai province for centuries, we have always faced aggression from neighboring clans. While we have come to terms with the Imagawa and the Hojo in recent years, the Shinano warlords have been unrelenting in their crusade to seize our lands and crush the clan. Our first priority should be to ensure that an end is put to the Shinano incursions. The Murakami of North Shinano have repeatedly invaded Kai, so bringing them to heel will afford us the chance to build up our military strength. From there, we can proceed into South Shinano, establishing a position at the heart of Honshu, and securing a source of quality stone to supplement our construction and trade efforts. Our relationship with the Imagawa has grown strong in the recent years, and I recommend keeping this as such. Their aid would be most welcome should hostilities resume against the Hojo, and we expand into the Kanto area. As our clan grows in stature, the Shogun is bound to take action against us. Our proximity to Kyoto makes us a potential threat to the shogunate, and we must be prepared to withstand his attempts at subjugation. If they do not relent, then we will be forced to take action ourselves for the greater good of Japan. In that event, we must be prepared to fend off all who would attack us, no matter from where that threat emerges. If the Shogun wishes to halt our expansion, let him come here and reckon with us himself.
We are the Tokugawa. Following the murder of our Lord Kiyoyasu by the treacherous Imagawa, they assisted our new daimyo in the claiming of his power at Okazaki. This was at the cost of our freedom, for we are now their vassals. We who are descended from emperors past. Now there is full conflict with the order. But under the protection of the Imagawa, we have the opportunity to rebuild our strength and expand our territory and influence once again. To start by capturing Owari would be wise, enabling us to rid ourselves of the order threat without the need to burden our clan with additional enemies. The Kiso of South Shinano control a province containing an abundance of the finest stone. This valuable trade resource will be vital to the construction of the great castles befitting of a clan of rich royal heritage, such as our own. The Kiso will submit to our wishes or be destroyed. The province of Totomi has no notable advantages, but seizing it from the Imagawa will be a vital step once we choose to take our revenge. However, with power and influence will surely come the ire of Kyoto. And should the Shogun feel threatened, he will rally his subjects against us. In that event, we must be prepared to fend off all who would attack us, no matter from where that threat emerges. If the Shogun wishes to halt our expansion, let him come here and reckon with us himself.
We are the Uesugi. Following the death of Lord Tamekage, dominion over our clan had befallen his son, Harukage. This did not sit well amongst the great Uesugi retainers, who found him weak of body and will. By their recommendation, Harukage's young but well-respected brother has now been thrust into power. This has divided the clan. The Uesugi face only suffering at the hands of Harukage and his entourage. His forces must be crushed. Only then can we be one. Once our internal strife has been addressed, we must turn our attentions to the warmongering Jimbo clan of Echu province to the southwest. Although we are fortunate enough to be at peace with our remaining neighbors, the clan must grow, and so we must choose our conquests wisely. Echigo has a strong seafaring tradition. We could use this to construct an invasion fleet with which to conquer nearby Sado Island. The precious metals abundant there will greatly aid further expansion. Capturing Fukushima to the east should also be considered, for the quality timber found there will also serve our naval ambitions. Maintain our alliance with the Yamanouchi, and we can be sure of support when others turn against us. For as we gain influence, we are sure to draw the ire of Kyoto. Should the Shogun feel threatened, he will rally his subjects against us. In that event, we must be prepared to fend off all who would attack us. no matter from where that threat emerges. If the Shogun wishes to halt our expansion, let him come here and reckon with us himself.
We are the Hattori. For many years, our province has resisted the machinations of warlords. A union of independent families, guarded by our intimate knowledge of the land and mastery of Igaryu ninjutsu. But times have changed. As clan warfare continues to escalate, new forces are rising. These large clans are bent on conquest, and will stop at nothing to assert their superiority. The safety of our home, Iga, and her people must be maintained. The Ashikaga, the house of the Shoguns, are of prime concern. We fought against the Shogunate in the past, and we may soon come to blows once again. March into Yamashiro and Kyoto before we are sufficiently strong, however, would be an act of madness. Expansion into other bordering provinces is less daunting, their rulers being neither powerful nor overly ambitious. There is evidence of ninjutsu being practiced in Omi. Capture of this province will allow us to increase the potential of our ninja in battle or in acts of subterfuge. If spiritual matters are more of a concern, Yamato and Ise, to the southeast, are renowned for their strong religious traditions. Continuing to grow in strength and nurture our diplomatic relationships will mean that when the Ashikaga do come for us, we will be ready. Igaryu ninjutsu will prevail, and all those who would presume to subjugate us, including the Shogunate, will fall.
We are the Ikko Ikki. We are the devout followers of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, championed by the eminent monk Renyo at the height of the Onin War. It was during this time that, in order to check our growing power and acquire our wealth, we were driven from Omi province and made to flee to Echizen and Kaga. Roused by Renyo's teachings, the people of these provinces turned upon their autocratic masters and established a haven for all who wished to follow the Jodo Shinshu way. Under the guidance of the Shimozuma clan, our safety has been assured by the most devout and capable of warriors. It will not be long, however, before we are threatened once more from without. We would benefit greatly by returning to Omi, as the province is blessed with fertile soil, and the local ninja will be an asset when war erupts. Wakasa, to the southwest, is of lesser strategic importance, as are Noto and Echu to the northeast, although capturing these provinces will nonetheless allow us to maintain our strength. Through force of arms and strength of conviction, we will prevail. Opposition to the Jodo Shinshu way will continue to be strong, and the Shogun will be no exception. Should he perceive us as a threat, he will stop at nothing until our people are subjugated utterly. When this day comes, we must seize Kyoto for ourselves. With a Shimozuma ruling the shogunate in our name, all of Japan will know our might. The Ikko Ikki will be free.
My fellow Jesuits landed recently on your shores and found that we have much in common. We have our deep loyalty to the Holy Father in Rome. You have a deep loyalty to your daimyo and to the Shogun. Our loyalties have provoked others and made them enemies, for such is the way of the world. Now your country is in turmoil. The Shogun's authority wanes, and your own position is threatened by lesser men. Together, though, we can be strong. Trade with us brings you the strength of God, wealth, and guns to arm the righteous. The lands of your old rivals, the Ouchi, are near. Seize them, punish your rivals, and gain a foothold on the mainland. The Shimazu resent the favor you enjoy in the eyes of the shogunate and the close friendship we have between us. Be wary of them, for their delusions of superiority will make them determined to see you crushed. Be vigilant, and all will be well. The heathens will be brought to the Lamb, or they will be destroyed. By God's grace, the Otomo will prevail.